Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we have some really fun trial plants that we want to share with you to give you an update on how they have done here at Creekside Nursery in North Carolina, Zone 7B. But before we get to the trial beds, we just had to stop just for a second to give you an update on how this entrance bed is doing. If you remember yesterday's video, we talked about annuals that are still performing, high performers at the end of the summer. If these do not qualify as high performers for end of summer, then nothing does. We've been in this bed multiple times throughout the season. Back in mid-spring, we planted this up and oh my goodness. Never underestimate bold colors in mass. It has just made such a beautiful impact, a welcome to our customers as they come in here to Creekside. So what do we have in here? Well, there are some evergreen shrubs behind these babies, but you can't see them, and that's okay because these are definitely the star of the show right now. What we have is let's just go through it real quickly. We've talked about this before, but I just wanted to show you again. This is Lime Thyme Coleus. This is a Color Blaze series from Proven Winners. This is Lime Thyme. There are 3 plants in here. Look how massive they are. So we have got Lime Thyme Coleus. Next door, we have got the fantastic purple fountain grass again. It is in a group of 3. Then we have the new this year, Color Blaze, Newly Noir Coleus, again, a group of 3. We have big, huge open spaces here at Creekside, so we need to plant en masse. It makes a huge impact from a distance. People see this as soon as they hit that gate. They see these beds, they see these plants, and it is beautiful and it is welcoming. So the Newly Noir, great Coleus. Doing well. It is that Newly Noir because it has, it's a purplish burgundy, but it's so dark it is black. So it is doing fantastic in here. The only thing we've had to do with this is to come in and when it starts to bloom a little bit, come in and just snip the tops off of it. Next we have Prince Tut. Prince Tut is that fantastic annual grass, group of 3. The more water you put on it, the bigger they grow. Then one of the absolute stars of the show is the Sun Patience. That is compact purple, and it is just this gorgeous neon color that makes a huge statement from a distance. And when you put this bright purple against the Lime Thyme and the Newly Noir, it is just spectacular. We really just have the Sun Patience in kind of a little bit of a ribbon here at the front, and then it just, of course, it moves on down just to more of the grasses and more of the coleus. Huge pops of color. And then of course down in the front, this is an Artemisia. This is Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet stays really short and spreads out, but it has again a nice color contrast between all of this, and so it pops. Just giving you an update. If you don't have coleus in your landscape, you need to have coleus in your landscape. The Color Blaze series will do sun or shade. Right now it is in complete shade, but it does get the early morning sun till about lunchtime, and then because of our massive tree line, then it goes into the shade. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hop on over, and there is one that's just right here, so I just want to show it to you. A new lantana for this year. Yesterday in the video, we showed you lemon zest. Well, this sweet little thing is a bicolor, and this is, I always get the name of this one mixed up. Tangelo, that's how I remember it, Tangelo. In fact though, I think we have a lemon zest in here. So a lemon zest got put in here. So this is lemon zest. So now you get to see it actually, the 2 colors right beside each other. How do I know it's lemon zest? Because lemon zest has a solid yellow. So there was one that was not blooming when we planted it, and we're like, I wonder what this is. Well, we'll just stick it in. Well, now we know. So lemon zest, and then the basket, the tangelo. The tangelo seems to be a little bit shorter, but it is that great bicolor. So if you don't want a solid yellow, you can go to the tangelo, and it has a little bit of the orange, the pink, and the yellow all in there together. So they are doing well. You will notice that the sunflowers are missing. If you've been in this bed before, you will know that we did have massive amounts of the Suncredible Saturn sunflower planted back here. They finally were like, you know what? We have performed our heads off all season. We're done. We'll see you later. But we just pulled them out yesterday. So again, that's another one that goes great. Now, what we're going to do is hop on over to the trial beds, and we're going to show you some really fun plants that have done really well here at the nursery. So there is a brand new Caryopteris that is on the market. This is a shrub from Spring Meadow. This is called Beyond Pink, and it has just started blooming really within the last week, 10 days. If you don't know by looking at it, it is a huge pollinator magnet. I have got pollinators of all shapes and sizes and types on this plant. I have got bumblebees, I've got honeybees, I have got wasps, I have got just about everything. Beyond Pink is this gorgeous shade of like a baby doll, soft pink, really fun, unusual blooms on it. That is just a massive pollinator attractor. There's just no other way to say it than that. It is going to be that late season bloomer. When you're looking for something to add to your garden that's a nice pop this time of year, later on in the year, Beyond Pink is definitely going to be one for you. Fingers crossed, we should have some at the nursery within the next week. If everything goes according to plan, we will have these in a 3-gallon available for sale at the nursery. If you're interested in it, I would highly encourage you to get your little honey out here to the nursery, because they are going to go fast. I know I've already talked to my mama, and she was like, I want 3, because these things are gorgeous and amazing. It is a deciduous shrub, so in the wintertime, it's going to lose its leaves. I'll put all the information up because I don't remember the zones and so forth, but Beyond Pink Caryopteris doing really, really well. Now, switching gears for a little bit, we're going to go back to some annuals, because that's what I've got right here beside of me. If you are looking for an amazing, fast-growing, climbing plant that is an annual, then the new Upside sweet potato vines will be the answer for you. There is the coffee and there is the lime, the 2 different colors. We put them in here on like a trellis, and it is just going crazy. We planted a bunch of it also in the landscape right behind the Caryopteris, and I really overplanted it. I was kind of doubtful. I know I should not have been. I am sorry, but I was a little doubtful of how well this thing was going to climb, and let me tell you, it climbs. So if you are looking for something fun to hide, like go up an arbor, if you want to go like the garden shed where the chicken run was, use that. Anything you wanted to climb, or in a hanging basket to trail down, this would be a great one. Then the new Portulaca. Portulaca itself, of course, is not new, but this is the improved one. And so you can see that even though it's in the shade, the blooms are still open on it. Again, nice big pollinator attractor. I think most of the pollinators have gone over to the Caryopteris, but huge blooms on it. Nice big bold pops of color. You can put it in the landscape like it is here. We have it in the water trough in front of the barn, and it's a beautiful trailer. So it can also be like a spiller in your garden. The new Surefire Begonia Red Cherry Cordial, really nice. This is doing really, really nicely here. You can do sun or shade. Very happy with it. Again, it is going to be an annual for us, but it is doing really nicely and really well. Every time I do a video back here, people ask about this. This is not a new plant, but it is pretty spectacular. This is coffee cups. It is a type of elephant ear. When I planted this 3 3 years ago, whatever year it came out from Proven Winners, I had it the year before. And this was sent to me as a grande size container, and it has turned into this beautiful specimen of a plant. But this is coffee cups. I do not do anything special to it. Once the freeze comes, it will kill all of this foliage. I simply get a sharp knife and cut it to the ground. I do not add extra mulch to it. I just leave it alone, and in our Zone 7B, it has come back faithfully every year. It is not an invasive elephant ear whatsoever. The mound just gets bigger, but it does not send out runners that you're gonna, have the whole bed taken over by it. So it is doing really well. Agastache. So Agastache is a wonderful perennial. It can be known to be a little floppy and a little wild in the garden. This is Queen Nectarine. Really nice soft yellow and peach colors to it. Has been blooming for months now here in the garden. I've got multiple plants. What I'll do next year is I need to spread these out so that they get more direct sun. I'll probably go ahead and just take them out of here and put them in maybe Jenny's personal garden, I don't know, somewhere in a high visibility area where they get a little bit more sun, because watching their habit on it now, they just love the sun. They love it dry. They don't like to be wet. Massive hummingbird attractor. So if you're looking to bring the hummingbirds in, this is a fantastic one for sure. So we've got that, and then Edge of Night is doing really nice. This is not, again, not a new plant, but this was part of my 15 favorite perennials for the South, and Walter's Gardens was kind enough to send us these plants. So these arrived to us in July, I believe it was. These were 1 gallon size plants. This is not on irrigation, and they are doing really well. So for them going in the first time this year, with not being on irrigation in the hottest part of the season, very happy with how these 3 Edge of Nights are doing. Next year they will be at least double if not triple this size and be just absolutely gorgeous. Now moving on over here, we've talked about one of the new surefire begonias, the cherry cordial. Well, this is white. This is surefire white. I love this plant. It has done really, really well. When you plant it in mass like this, it just brings a lightness to your flower beds. It has a really bright green color to it with that pure white flower with a yellow center. So this is doing great, as is this echinacea. Look at that. This is the raspberry beret. It's the double coated series. It is there's the raspberry beret, and then there's, oh shoot, there's a yellow one. The name just went out of my head. But raspberry beret truly is a raspberry color. Nice thick blooms up top, the petals down below doing really nicely, and of course echinaceas love it hot for sure. More of the sweet potato vine in the ground. We've had to kind of keep it a little bit contained, so it is doing well, but as is Queen Tut. Queen Tut is a new plant in the series of the Tut family, right? So we have King Tut, Prince Tut, Baby Tut. Well, of course you gotta have Queen Tut. So Queen Tut is really fun because it is shorter, it's more compact, and it has more spike, I would dare say, to it. Really fun texture, and it is planted in mass in this spot. So it is really thick, really full right here, and doing nicely. So you can put it in the ground, or you could put it in a container and it would do nicely. One more that I just want to share with you so much is Weigelia. So this is Vino Verde. Now let me get out the sweet potato vine, because like I said, she does love to get friendly with her neighbors. But Vino Verde is really going to be a great plant because it has that different variegation to it. So you've got a nice bright green center with your dark edges to it. Really a beautiful plant. It is, like all the other Weigelias, it's going to be deciduous. But in the season, like I can't imagine putting those in like a group of like 3 or 5 to really fill in an area. It would be stunning. It would be really pretty, gorgeous color. It will do some flowers in the spring, but mostly it is for the foliage. One more plant, oh, 2, there's 2. Can I show you 2 more? I can show you 2 more. Jerry's favorite new plant, of the year is the mini-me watermelon.
Yeah, I don't know, Portulaca.
Oh, he said Portulaca. Portulaca's coming in a strong second, folks. So here we have the mini-me watermelon coleus. It is a more petite series, so it's not going to get as tall as like the Color Blaze with the Lime Thyme and the Newly Noir. Truly, it has that really fun, funky foliage to it as far as the shape of the leaf. Kind of reminds you almost like what you would imagine like in, I imagine it in the movie like Little Mermaid, you know, it has that kind of that under the ocean, tropical, but with the watermelon colors. Really fun. And then the rose garden, the rose garden is doing quite well. We planted, of course, the Gumfrina, the True Full of Pink in here because that's going to be the annual of the year next year. So we wanted to highlight that. And then the new Rockin' Deep Purple Improved. Nice, really tight habit on it. But because this is the rose garden, I wanted to bring in as many pollinators as I possibly could. So I think I have been quite successful in that venture, and they are doing well. Now Jerry is showing you the Rise Up Amberness. A couple of days ago, that whole thing was completely filled in with brand new, gorgeous blooms. Those roses are just about done, but they are a nice, thick, double bloom on them, and the Rise Ups do get tall. So you can either use it as a climber, or you can just let it go as a you know, a tall landscape rose. We've got a couple in here. I need to come, oh, come here. Look at this one. Okay, I'm gonna hold it for you. And this is the Reminiscent Pink. I know it's a bright sun. Can you get that though? Reminiscent Pink next to this Rockin' Salvia that the honeybees are just all over. Beautiful, soft, baby doll pink. They have done really well here. Next year, I will not put nearly as many, if any, annuals in here. Looking back at it this time of year, of course, it's really pretty, but it's a little too thick, it's a little too full. You know, as you garden and you go from one season to the next, 1 year to the next, you're making notes and you're constantly changing and you're going, okay, as this plant grows, we need to tweak it, we need to do something different. That's what I do in my garden. You're constantly learning and becoming a student of your own garden so that you know how everything is doing. But man, if you want to attract pollinators to your garden, the Gumfrina and the Rockin' Deep Purple Improved, I mean, you really cannot go wrong at all with those because they are just fantastic. Yeah, so I hope you have had fun learning about some of the new, not nearly, we didn't go over all of them, but just some of the new plant introductions that you're going to be able to see maybe even this fall and going into the coming years. The shrubs take a little bit longer to get out into the market just because it takes a little bit longer for them to grow, right? Annuals available next year, widely available, no problem. Shrubs sometimes take a little bit of time to get onto the market, but lots of fun new plants coming out. You know, be aware, call your local garden center, see what they have available that's fun and exciting. Get out there and shop them. But as always, thank you so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.